When we look at freshwater biological zones, the bottom represents the benthic zone. You have different things like algae, invertebrates occupying the benthic zone. Detritus can be found here in the benthic zone, so dead organic matter. And then some organisms even burrow down into the benthic, further down, known as the hyphorheic zone. So what does this look like? You have the surface water, pelagic, benthic bottom, and just below the benthic zone, the hyphorheic zone, where you have things like invertebrates. You have different sizes of microorganisms. The river continuum concept looks at how communities, different organisms, different populations of organisms change as you move down the length of the stream. Very important, you have things like shredders and collectors, and eventually your predators. So, how does this look like? Notice the initial part of the stream, you have basically coarse particulate organic matter, or pretty much leaves falling into the stream. From these leaves falling into the stream, you have microbes such as fungi, bacteria, feeding on this detritus. Dominant benthic invertebrates here because of your bacteria and fungi feeding on the leaves. You have things like shredders and collectors, mostly making up this part of the stream. As we move down the stream, you encounter fine particulate organic matter, which pretty much is a transfer from the coarse particulate organic matter. But then here you find mostly dominant collectors as the benthic microorganisms. And now you also have a large number of grazers. So whereas before you had shredders and collectors, now you have collectors and grazers. Microbes still feed on the fine particulate organic matter, but then as you move now to the wider headwaters where you have different types of predators like fish feeding on algae and phytoplankton. And so now what you have as your invertebrates are mostly collectors. So we've moved initially from collectors and shredders to collectors and grazers to now fully collectors feeding on things like phytoplankton, and then predators like these fishes feeding on zooplankton as well.